Good afternoon. Hope that you guys are all doing well and that you find this video useful. I'm going to show you how to use your evidence and embed it into a paragraph. Because remember, embedding evidence is one of the requirements of our assignment. A few things, and I talked about this in our weekly Class Connect, so if you have not watched that, you can find that under this recorded Class Connect sessions. And if you highlight, copy and paste that into a web browser, you should be able to see it. It's only 30 minutes long, not too crazy long, but I did talk about some stuff related to our big assignment that we're working on. So a few things I wanted to point out. If you're doing a paper, remember a PowerPoint option is not an option. Where some of you are reading a PowerPoint is a PowerPoint along with an oral speech. So if you're going to be doing an oral speech, then you have to figure out how to do the recording. You need to write it up. And then you, in addition to the oral speech, are creating a PowerPoint and demonstrating it that way. Honestly, my opinion is probably the paper is the easiest, although I know that some of us have a little hesitation to do a research paper. But hopefully this will clear up a little bit. So with a research paper, you want to have this traditional heading. Another thing I want to show you real quick, since hopefully I have your attention and you're actually watching this, is right here under this some resources to use. These are some really great resources. One of my favorites, in fact, especially when I was learning how to do research writing, was to see an example of kind of what it should look like in terms of heading and headers, page numbers, you know, and this is really great because it kind of has these little like sticky notes that explains, you know, what needs to be where and why it's this way and where your thesis statement should be. So check out these resources because, you know, like I said, I think that they will prove to be quite useful. So, oh, and the other thing is having a header with a page number. I showed some students this last week, and for them it was a little bit life-changing. Rather than typing this up, if you look, it's on top of my paper. No matter if I insert a new page, it's automatically going to be there. And I don't have to do any typing. I just have to set it up, which is really cool. So the way that you do that is you come over to insert header. And even if you have open office, I know it's a little bit different, but it's kind of similar. So you're going to do a header and actually, in fact, I did insert a page number, excuse me. And then you do top of the page, you come over here, it gives it to you, and then all you do is just type in your last name and then close it and it's there. Okay, so give that a try. It's really cool because there are some requirements for that type of stuff, especially if you move on to the next level in college and stuff. So, okay, so I have my research. I'm going to use the sample here just for sake of speed and all that good stuff. So this right here is talking about violence in video games. Okay, what kind of violence is portrayed in video games? So you have the statistic, you have an author name, you have the title, page number, location, and the research question. I really would suggest doing some sort of research or evidence log as you're researching because it's going to be able to help you be organized. So this introduction paragraph would be where I have my introduction paragraph. Okay, I'm not going to write one up, but that's where this paragraph would be. And then also remember, you end your introduction paragraph with your thesis statement. Okay, your thesis statement should answer your big discovery question. It should be a direct answer. So if your research question was what kind of violence is portrayed in these games, your thesis statement should say something like the blood and guts and gore is the type of violence that is portrayed in many video games that children play today. It's a direct answer to your research question. Okay. For this purpose, I want to show you how to embed evidence. So I kind of stuck with this little video game topic, just like I said, for sake of being a little bit efficient. So I have a topic sentence. Remember, your topic sentence is really crucial. Everything that comes after your topic sentence should have to do with your topic sentence. So anything I write in this paragraph should in some way relate to this first sentence. If all of a sudden I start talking about McDonald's, actually McDonald's, I kind of make that work. If all of a sudden I was talking about flowers and sunshine, probably not going to deal with violence, in today's society and an example. My entire paragraph should in some way be discussing types of violence that children are facing today. Okay? And then if you write a different paragraph, you start with a new topic sentence, and everything that comes underneath that should have to deal with that. Think of your topic sentence as an umbrella that's covering everything that's underneath it. So if it doesn't have to do with the topic, or if it's a completely different thing, then save it for another paragraph. Okay? So I start with my topic sentence. Children who grow up in today's society are faced with many examples of violence. Topic sentence. Then I'm going to start writing, which is called commentary. I'm also introducing the evidence that I'm going to be using. Okay? Because remember, the evidence is proving my thesis correct. So I need to kind of lay it out and explain what I'm going to be talking about. So topic sentence is all my words. Second sentence is all of my words, okay? I haven't researched anything yet. It's just my opinion. Video games are an example of where many young children, especially boys, come face to face with violence on sometimes a daily basis, period. Now, I'm going to go use some research, like I said, to prove that I am right and I have a point. Now, you can do there's a couple different ways that you can embed evidence. You can copy and paste it directly. As long as you put it in quotation marks, you are not plagiarizing, okay? Now, if I were to take off the citation, and I'm going to show you how to do a complete citation here in a minute, and I just left it like that, and I went on my ways, this is plagiarism, because I'm trying to pass this sentence off as my information, when in fact it is actually Sarah Michaels. Okay, Sarah Michaels is the one who wrote this. So this is her information that she researched and used. So I have to cite that for her and let my reader know that I am using it. Okay, so you copy and paste it directly. You need it to be in quotation marks, and you also need the author name or where it can be located. I realize that sometimes we can't find author names, and so we have to use the first title. And I posted it on the announcement, on this announcement of some resources to use. This one right here is going to show you the different ways of citing it. So if you have kind of a different scenario that you're like, mine's not easy, just let me know. Or just look at that resource and it should spell it out for you. Okay. So I have quotation marks, and then I have the author's name in parentheses. My period is after my parentheses. Notice how it's not up here. Okay, sometimes this is a mistake we make. We put our period here and we put our period here. Sometimes we put our period here and sometimes we leave this period off. You want a period there and you want it like this, okay? That's if you copy it directly word for word, okay? You can also, instead of having the parentheses, you could say, you could have it quoted like this, or cited like this, excuse me. And that would work, okay? Because you're stating, I'm using information. Again, remember, you're copying it and pasting it, so you want it in the quotation marks. You can also, if you paraphrase, since you're paraphrasing it and you're not doing it word for word, you wouldn't need the quotation marks, but you still need it to be cited. So you would still in some way need to say an author, Sarah Michaels, or something similar. And like I said, this resource right here is going to show you the different ways that you can do it. Honestly though, if you're just starting out and you're totally new to embedding evidence and you want to make sure you do it right, for right now, I would copy it directly so that you get practice doing it this way. And that way, okay? If you're a little bit more advanced in your research writing, then as long as you stick to the rules, you have a couple other choices to make. Okay, I am not done though with this paragraph. Remember, topic sentence, commentary, evidence. Now I don't want to move on. A lot of times kids will put their research out there, they'll embed it, and then they move on. They go to a new paragraph, okay? You don't want to do that. You always want to start a paragraph with your words and end a paragraph with your words, okay? So I basically need to kind of close the door on the piece of evidence I have just discussed, because remember right here I introduced it, I talked, and then I gave my evidence, and now I kind of need to say why is that important, okay? Okay, so this is a way I could close it out, where I'm talking about the statistics of children who consider games they are playing to be violent is high. 50% of 500 considered games they were playing to be violent, so that I could reasonably say that that's high. And a thought to consider is why the other children do not consider the same games to be violent, period. You can also keep going. You could do another sentence of commentary of your opinion, or at this venture, you could move on to another paragraph, okay? So remember, topic sentence, commentary, which is your opinion, your words. I have my evidence, and then I close it out. Another thing to remember when you're copying and pasting is that you want to make sure that all of your font is the same font style and font size. A lot of times that's an area that we forget. Usually I wait until the very end of my paper, and then I just highlight everything and do it all and all that good stuff. But that is something to think about and consider. So remember, for this assignment, you have to do this multiple times. So review those resources and let me know if you guys have any questions.